I think the most humorous part will be the fact that I have colleagues or other people who've met me that if I could talk in under 5 minutes, it'd be a miracle. So here we go. This is something I'm very passionate about, used quite often in online learning and face-to-face. There's two aspects to my talk. I'll see what I can do in 5 minutes. Happy to share after and later on today if you'd like to know more. Protocols and how I utilize protocols, discussion protocols in Voicethread, the discussion tool. So we're just going to go and adapt here, right? That it's not working, so we do this, right? Technology. Why use a protocol? Well, there are several reasons. I'm not going to go through because I have 5 minutes. Hopefully you get a chance to glance up here. But the question I always ask, why use protocols? Have you ever had a discussion group where you ask one question and then all your students answer the same and you're frustrated because you like a different answer from each student? Protocols answer that question. Protocols create deep exploration into concepts and ideas, but from the thought worlds of students and their perspectives and their assumptions and their thinking, not a standard issued response to a standard issued question. So encouraging dialogue from multiple perspectives and safe and supportive structure where they can talk about specifically controversial issues from readings, points of discussion that might arise only from conversation around particular literature. There's a lot of great research, I won't go too much in, around the feelings of isolation and experiences students have with discussion online, but that's what this particular discussion is for, and I'm going to skip that because I just know I'm watching the 5 minutes go by so quickly. So the practical aspect of, this is a save the last word for me. This can be done face-to-face, this can be done online. Really the essence of it is students sit in a circle, first student, who leads the first round of discussion, states a passage from their reading that they've assigned ahead of time, likely, as to what was most powerful to them. They don't state why they chose it. The remaining students in the group, 3 or 4 students, comment on their assumptions, why they think they chose that particular passage in the text. Ending with the student who made the original, or chose the original passage or quote, sharing their reasoning behind why they chose. Oftentimes not the same reasons, because they come from different experiences and thought worlds that feed the way they think about the work or the literature that they're reading and discussing. So this is a short, also, there are numerous. You can find them, they're in my references if we publish the PowerPoint for the group. If you go online with protocols, there's a great book. But this is from one article that I published on face-to-face and online, and this is another favorite of mine on 6 thinking hats, especially when you have different types of thinkers in a group where you assign them particular roles and ways in which they have to approach the discussion. So you can see here you have everything from the person who has to find the positive, the person who finds the gap, the person who generates thoughts of statements of being provocative or further investigation, and it forces them to think differently than what might be intuitive for them. And often the reflection is, that was really hard, and I never thought about it from that perspective. So there's a really great opportunities to utilize protocols in this way. So I want to jump back to Voicethread. Why are Voicethread and protocols related? Well, I have to show you first what Voicethread is, and I'm actually going to show a video during a 5-minute presentation. Just because to understand Voicethread, you have to see it in action.
Did you know that spoken language has been in use 20 times longer than written language? In fact, humans have been using our voices for so long that we're just naturally sophisticated vocal communicators. And yet the moment we all go online, something kind of astonishing happens. Our voices, they all disappear, and you hear nothing but crickets, and you see nothing but text. What's up with that? Did we leave our best communications tool behind us because text is better? I don't think so. We stopped using our voices to talk to each other because the internet didn't support voices. But that's just not the case anymore. Instead of texting apps, forums, or emailing, you have another option. Just grab some media, upload it, and share it, and then listen as voices are added and a conversation grows naturally over time without anyone scheduling anything. Simply put, voice threading will get you back to using the most effective communications tool ever made, which will make your online meetings, presentations, or conversations more effective, but also more personal and basically more human.
It's just amazing.
I agree completely. I've been using it. I'm becoming a Voicethread educator trainee of some kind soon. I've been doing this for years, and I will tell you that it significantly changes and revolutionizes the way in which we look at discussion, at least from my perspective. Using a visual language like American Sign Language in my interpreting program, students are able to communicate not just in English, but in ASL as well, due to the video-based aspect. And yes, you can doodle and talk at the same time while you do. So there's a real aspect for those of you who are doing performance-based assessment, where the performance or the article that represents that performance can be placed into the different media types, including video that can actually play while you talk, while you pause, and doodle over it. Protocols, Voicethread, really wonderful, great way in which you layer different slides to demonstrate how to do those iterations of discussion through protocols, where somebody posts their original passage, students then respond, doing so through Voicethread. And then the last thing I want to say is Voicethread. The one complication for those of you who might have heard about it before was that it didn't thread like like Blackboard discussions. As of last week, yay, they now do 3 types of threaded discussions within Voicethread, including private, direct, and then multi-layered discussions. So it's definitely a different way of looking at engaging students through discussion, and I think it's an exciting opportunity to change the way we look at engagement online.